Hey, what's up, good people? How you doing? Welcome back to Stock Up with Larry Jones. Please do yourself a favor on this one because we are talking to a Bitcoin mining company, all right? And we're actually talking to the CEO. This is Stock Up with Larry Jones. For those of you that don't know, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell. Let's bring our guest in right now, Mr. Adam. How are you today, sir?
Doing really well, Larry. Appreciate you having me on.
Hey, it's a pleasure to have you on. Would you let the audience know the name of your company?
Of course. Our company is Core Scientific.
All right. And you are a Bitcoin mining company that have been through a lot here in a short period of time. Well, it's not been a short period of time. And the reason why I asked you to be on is we've been doing a deep study on all of the crypto mining companies, and you guys are certainly one of the ones that we have our eye on. For the public to know, anything we say is not a suggestion for you to buy, hold, or sell. In all disclosure, I do have shares of this company. All right. Just like I have shares of not most, but a lot of the other crypto, or should I say Bitcoin mining companies. All right. So let's get into it. All right. What's your background, Adam?
Yeah, so I spent the last decade in financial services, mainly in investment banking, and my focus was digital assets and infrastructure. So I served as managing director and head of digital assets at XMS Capital. We oversaw a number of transactions in the industry, so about $5 billion worth of M&A, mainly in Bitcoin mining, including Core Scientific's business combination with XPDI, which actually took them public back in 2022. How I got into mining, I actually started mining about 2016 while I was working for a hedge fund in New York. And it was later that year I saw my first Bitcoin mining facility, which back then large facilities were 5 megawatts and usually in the back of an old paper mill.
Yeah.
But something about it made me fall in love with this industry, so I decided to get into it full time. And later the next year, I started the first crypto focused investment banking team on Wall Street. Um, and so we were a part of many companies' growth in this industry, really from 2017 to 2023, when I left XMS to come join Core Scientific. But it was a company that I knew really well. I'd worked with them before, and I was really excited when I had the opportunity to join.
That is great. I'm going to just get right into the nitty gritty. How does your hash rate compare to other Bitcoin miners?
Yeah, I think a great statistic that puts things in perspective for us is that we've led amongst publicly traded miners the number of Bitcoins that we mined every single year going back to 2021. I like to make that part clear before we talk about hash rate and some of the hash rate growth perspectives that people are taking today, because we really deliver when we say we're bringing hash rate online. It really starts with the fact that we own our own infrastructure. We have 7 facilities across 5 states. That's 724 megawatts of infrastructure. So we have, as of year end, we had 16.9 exahash for self mining, and we were also hosting another 6.3 exahash for our hosted clients.
Oh, that's great. Hey, listen, let's talk about what is going on right now and what you guys just went through and came out of. Could you start by talking about your debt restructuring? Was it a Chapter 11 debt restructuring? Could you shine a light on that and tell us where things left off in the courts and talk about your relisting possibilities? Take it from there.
Yeah, of course. I think it's good to go back to 2022. We went into the chapter, or we realized we had to go into a Chapter 11 process, um, and so we entered Chapter 11 back in December of 2022. In 2023, though, as a company, we made two decisions. The first one, we had to refocus the business. So, as a company, we said we're a company that built the largest infrastructure in North America, and we built it faster than anyone else. And so we said we're going to refocus the business on efficiency and building this company from within so that when we emerge, we're going to be the strongest company that's out there. And that's on efficiency, that's on deployments, that's on putting up new infrastructure. And so that was part one of our plan. Part two was to put together a capital structure that gave us the opportunity and a pathway to being debt free. We achieved that second part as well. So we structured an emergence plan that gives us the ability to reduce all of our debt. And so right out of the gates, we're reducing our net debt at emergence by about 400 million. So we're going from just over $1 billion that we had at filing to just around $600 million worth of debt. Now, part of that is convertible debt. So about 260 million of that is in convertible notes. Now, those have a mandatory conversion feature at 2.1 billion total enterprise value. And then the second part that brings that debt down even further. So once those convert, we would have just over 300 million in debt. And then there's two tranches of warrants that are being given to existing equity. Now, the tranche one warrants are actually cash exercise warrants. And upon full exercise, that would bring in 670 million to our company. And so that would put us in a positive net cash position of over 300 million. And
Okay.
really, the next part about the debt structure is that there's very limited amortization through 2025. It's only about $50 million. So it gives us a significant amount of time for our company to continue to perform, show to the street how well we're doing, how great we are as a business, and hopefully trigger the conversion of the notes and the warrant exercise.
Okay. So when those warrants get exercised, that'll be more capital for you guys. So you went from about 1 billion in debt down to now about 300 million. Is that correct?
We went from 1 billion, we'll emerge with about 600 million. And then once the converts convert, we will be just above 300. And then
Yes.
with a tranche one exercise of those cash exercise warrants, we'd be in a positive net cash position of about 300 million.
Okay. Great. Great. Well, that's
Yeah.
what the courts are for. That's what Chapter 11 allows you to do. During
Yeah.
this time,
And
go ahead.
oh, I was just going to say, and the positive news right now is that we had the courts approve our filing or our plan on Tuesday. So that was the 16th. And so now we're approved to relist on the NASDAQ and move forward and be a public company again, something that we're really excited about.
Is there a time frame that you expect to be relisted on the NASDAQ?
Yes, we've put out. We expect to be relisted by the end of January, and so we have full expectations that we will be relisted within the next 7 to 10 days.
Oh man, that'd be great, especially for my portfolio.
Yeah.
But anyway, so what have you guys been doing? We know that process took a while, and what have you guys
Hmm.
been doing as a company to, maintain efficiency?
Yeah, to maintain efficiency, I mean, we really took a step back. So I joined this company in April of 2023. We took a step back as a company. We had been a company focused on growth for 6 years at that point. And we built the best team in the industry because you couldn't take a subpar team and build the best infrastructure, the most infrastructure, and build that infrastructure the fastest without the best team in the industry. And we really went through a refocus process. We said, okay, if we took all of that energy that we used to build all of this infrastructure and we refocused our opportunity set on making our company more efficient, whether that's internally as a business or within our data centers. And then we took a second step there and said, let's make sure that efficiency is really our guiding North Star here. And so what we did was we actually went through an entire process, and you'll see it in our efficiency metrics when you compare it to our peers. Really, when we start to refocus on efficiency, we start to outpace our competitors on efficiency, which is something that we're really proud of. And then on the internal side, we spent a significant amount of time retooling our business internally, focusing on making sure we had the right processes. And it's something that we feel really confident in. When we emerge, we're going to be the strongest company we could possibly be.
Wow. All right, that's pretty bolsterous. We shall see. I'm excited. I'm excited about where we are with the halving coming and all of the Bitcoin miners.
Mm-hmm.
They usually do kind of bleed off, leading to the halving, and then after the halving, they skyrocket. Is there any new equipment that you guys have purchased as far as miners are concerned that are more energy efficient?
Yeah, absolutely. So we actually have announced two deals for machines in 2024. The first one was actually part of our exit plan. So in our exit plan, Bitmain actually invested 54 million into our equity using machines. So that we're actually bringing in 27,000 XPs into our facilities. You'll have noted some of those machines started to come online actually over the course of December, and so we brought additional exahash online from November to December. So those machines are actually already coming online. That was about 1.7 exahash that came online between end of November and December. That deal in total was about 4 exahash. And so we'll be continuing to install those machines as they come into our facilities. We have a second deal actually with Bitmain as well for S21s. So that's another about 2 exahash deal that will arrive throughout the rest of this quarter and Q2. So we're bringing a significant amount of a significant amount of exahash online, and that comes down to our capability set right now, which is we own our own infrastructure, and so we built that flywheel for us to continue to grow our business, right? So you take a look at where we're at today. Just the refresh alone of existing machines inside our facilities provides us significant increases in not only absolute gross profit, but also on a gross margin basis. So we're really excited about this opportunity. We have the infrastructure in place, and then our growth opportunities are incredible. I mean, we have 372 megawatts of partially developed infrastructure that we've already spent the money on the long lead items, whether it be the high voltage, whether it be medium voltage. We've spent those dollars, which reduces our cost per megawatt to $200,000 versus the market, which is anywhere between 400 and 600,000. So significantly below what it costs for other people to put up infrastructure, mainly because we've already spent the money.
Got you. Got you. So being a Bitcoin mining CEO, what do you think the effect of, because there's a lot of people scared of the Bitcoin miners now because of the spot ETF, right? The Bitcoin spot ETF, right? And I just believe that crypto is doing what it's supposed to do. And I also believe that the Bitcoin miners are doing what they generally do, right? I made a lot of money in 2020 and 2021 off of Bitcoin miners, more than I actually did with crypto itself. Having said that, what do you think, or what do you see the correlation of the spot ETFs? Is it a takeaway from the Bitcoin miners, or do you see the Bitcoin miners being very robust after the halving?
Miners are a different play on Bitcoin than a direct access or really a direct investment into Bitcoin. But then again, ETFs are also not necessarily even a direct impact or a direct investment in Bitcoin itself.
Right.
From my perspective, what ETFs are providing to us is the ability for institutions to access Bitcoin directly. And what I mean by this is it's not just retail and it's not just price impact that I think everyone's really talking about today. Mm-hmm. This is about institutions like pension funds being able to finally invest in Bitcoin in a major way. Because if one pension outperforms another pension because they invested in Bitcoin, that's going to force the hand of all of the underperforming pensions to begin investing into Bitcoin. And so that provides us a runway to see the largest financial institutions in the world start investing in Bitcoin for the long term. And then the other part of that is as those ETFs start to generate fees, those large financial institutions like BlackRock, like VanEck, they're going to go out and they're going to start spending some of that revenue to protect the network and to invest in the long-term health of the network because they want to protect their revenue base. All of those things are a net positive for us as Bitcoin miners because we want the network to grow. We want to further adoption. We want more transactions. We want all of the things that support the long-term stability of the Bitcoin network. So from my perspective, the ETFs are providing us much greater confidence in the long-term network health of the Bitcoin network, which I think that's really the headline here in terms of what ETFs are actually bringing to miners. It's the long-term health of the network.
Wow. Okay. So that Adam was a great answer, but I know some of my followers are going to say, but it sounds kind of like a political answer. They want to know yes or no. I understand, but we have a lot of skilled investors. We have a lot of
Mhm.
beginners. Your projection, do you think it's going to be the same as the last cycle, a little less because of the spot ETFs, or even more robust?
I think it's going to be relatively similar. I think Bitcoin miners provide a leveraged access to Bitcoin, just based on our economics and how our economics change with Bitcoin prices. And
Yes.
so, from the perspective of looking on a forward-looking basis, the ETFs don't necessarily influence how Bitcoin miners are going to trade during any points in the cycle, at least from my view today, without knowing how we're going to trade post halving with an ETF available to the network.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. My last question. Well, I'll wrap them
Yeah.
up into one question. One is, how do you compare? And you touched on that a lot. How do you compare to other Bitcoin miners? Um, in a lot of cases, debt reduction or Chapter 11 gives a company a causes them to be more energy efficient because of the debt reduction, of course, right?
Mhm.
And what you're doing while you're going through the Chapter 11 is very important. That's why I asked that question. But how do you compare to other Bitcoin miners? And what do you want to say about your company that you want the general public to know?
At Core Scientific, we've mined more Bitcoin than any other public miner since 2021. We built the most extensive Bitcoin mining infrastructure on the continent. We built 724 megawatts operational. We have another 372 megawatts that are partially developed. Our company has deployed more than 600,000 miners in our facilities. Those results set us apart from any other company in our space because most other miners are plugging in miners for the first time in most cases in facilities. We've deployed miners 2, 3 times in those same slots in many of our facilities. So that gives us unique insight into how to operate with superior efficiency at scale, which completely sets us apart because we already experienced the headwinds of trying to scale an infrastructure business. That led us to building out one of the best operations teams in the industry, that led us to building out the best software team in the industry. We have a full stack of software that no other firm in this industry has. We built our own fleet management software, our own firmware, and our own energy management software. And so it's given us the ability to maintain control of our machines in ways that no other company can. The interesting part about this is too, we understand how to transform energy into high value compute. It obviously all started with Bitcoin mining. That's the main form of our business today. But we had to bring people from the traditional data center world, the traditional technology world, and bring all of those people to build an unmatched Bitcoin miner in the space. And so as compute becomes more specialized, we'll continue to evaluate how to refine power into compute in more profitable ways. And those are things that only our company can address because we actually brought in the people from the traditional data center world, the traditional technology world to be able to execute. Bitcoin obviously drives our results today, but we're going to continue to explore all areas of compute in the future. So, I would say from the overall perspective, we're hands down the best team, the best infrastructure, and the best company in this industry. And 2024 is looking very bright for us as we emerge and relist in January.
Well, thank you so much for your time. I have to say to my audience again, this is not a suggestion for you to buy, hold, or sell, but I do want you to know that while they were going through this restructuring, you could not purchase, not the entire time, you could not purchase it on a lot of brokers. But I did purchase more shares yesterday. And was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday I purchased more shares on traditional brokers like Fidelity and Schwab. So those are the platforms where you can. And of course, once they're relisted, you'll be able to buy them on the Robin Hoods and the Weebles, those type of deals. So anything you wanted to add to that?
No, I would say keep an eye out for our relisting. We'll have additional information coming out for all of our shareholders. So, we're looking forward to 2024, and we appreciate your support, Larry.
All righty, all righty. Hey, I want your word, just like the other Bitcoin miners. I want your word that you will come back after the halving, and when we're all smiling because of our portfolios, I would like to, I would like for you to come back and let's just do this again.
Sounds like a plan. I'll be
All
here.
right, Adam. Hey, it has been a pleasure. We, the family, all 600,000 of us, we appreciate you being on. So we call some uncles if they're older, if they're younger, we call them cousins. So I'm calling you cousin Adam now. You're part of the family.
I appreciate that. I look forward to the next family dinner.
All right, all right. You have a great day. That's it, good people. We'll talk to you later. Live, love, laugh, and learn. Again, we want to extend a heartfelt thank you to Mr. Adam Sullivan. He's the CEO of Core Scientific, right? So there's going to be some things that happened. You heard him talk about specific dates on being relisted. And I believe that there's a ton of opportunity to make money. But remember, the run up for all of these Bitcoin miners is really after the halving. Okay. So listen, I also want to end by saying this for those of you that do have the class, right? And for those of you that don't, it's the top link below. I want you to, for those of you that don't, understand that we have a whole crypto class in here, a whole crypto chapter. But for those of you that have the class, I want you to check out the warrants tab. For those of you that don't, you can just scroll down and you can see everything that's in it before you purchase it. Okay. And here we got warrants. I'm going to add more, probably another lesson or two to the warrants chapter, right? Right now, we simply show you how to make money. To explain warrants is very complicated. It's a lot like options, but then again, it's not, right? So let me know if you enjoyed yet again another Bitcoin mining CEO or Bitcoin miner CEO. Let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this. We work hard here. I have one focus: to make money, to entertain you while we're making money, okay? But remember, we are firemen and firewomen. We run towards the fire. We buy stock when they're red and we try to sell them as they're green. Now, again, anything that was said in this video is not a suggestion for you to buy, hold, or sell. But I just don't have people on my show that does not bring value. I believe that as we continue to accumulate during the accumulation phase, that the payoff will be after the halving all the way into 2025. That's what I believe, okay? Make sure that if you don't have the class, to check out the top link below and just go through all of the lessons and see if it's a fit for you, all right? No discount code needed, none necessary. The price you see is the discount. It will be higher by the end of the year, okay? All right, we'll talk to you later. Live, love, laugh, and learn.